The Chicago Bulls have waived center Adama Sonogo, who is unhealthy right now, but has shown some flashes down in the G League since he's been a two-way player for the Chicago Bulls. How much does this impact the Bulls? We'll talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Hayes, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into it for today. The Chicago Bulls have officially waived center Adama Sonogo from the two-way contract. This is unfortunate. And let me be clear, the reason that's been quoted as the reason why the Bulls are waiving Adama Sonogo isn't because of a performance, isn't because of anything like that. It just comes down to they found out that he had suffered an injury in which he's going to be out for 4 weeks, which puts him out for close to the remainder of the season, unfortunately, right? So they are now expected to fill this role with another guard. Jahmir Young is the guard that's expected to fill this role now for the Chicago Bulls, who's averaging 22.4 points, 7.3 assists for the Grand Rapids Gold in the G League so far this season. So the Bulls are adding in another considerable talent as far as looking at prospects and things like that, which is really what the Bulls have really tried to use this two-way contract in this G League season for so far. He's coming from Denver's system, which, is where we did get, Arturas Karnisovas comes from. So I'm sure he's probably put out some fillers and things like that on how Jahmir Young has been playing and how he's been progressing, things like that. This is going to raise more questions on what are the Bulls going to do with another young guard, right? Another young guard. And there are some Bulls fans that were hoping that we were going to start clearing out some young guards. This shows, hey, the guard-heavy Bulls aren't going anywhere anytime soon. That's going to be staying a thing for the Chicago Bulls, but it's really unfortunate for Adama. Adama's a player that has really solid potential, I think, to be a backup big eventually in the NBA. He's a player that is still raw, right? Make no mistake about that. He's not a refined scorer by any stretch of the imagination, but he's dominated the G League level of competition every time he stepped on that court, right? When he's been healthy, he's dominated the G League. And that's really what you're looking for as far as a young player that you're still trying to develop and see what you have in is, are they dominating their level of competition? And Adama Sonogo has performed extremely well in his time in the G League. So, I know there are a lot of Bulls fans that were hoping, me included, that Adama Sonogo was eventually going to get an opportunity and shot at the G League. To come into the roster for the Chicago Bulls and just see what he can bring to NBA level, right? We did get a 20-20 game from him at last season, him filling in with a bunch of injuries and things like that. But it's just when it comes down to it, man, it's just unfortunate that Adama Sonogo is going to be another one of those question marks that we look at and say, hey, he always had a chance to be XYZ, but he never really got that opportunity to show it, man. And that's just what Adama Sonogo's season is, his career has been so far in the G League and with the Windy City Bulls. So far this season, he was averaging 17 points. He was doing that with the longest 12 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.5 blocks, almost a steal per game as well. So it's not like that Adama Sonogo hasn't performed, like I said, at that level of competition. He's actually done a pretty damn good job at the level of competition in the G League. It just hasn't turned out well for him otherwise. So, that is what it is when it comes down to it. Like I said, it's really unfortunate. I had really big hopes for Adama when we initially signed him as an undrafted free agent, mainly because of the skill that he showed in college. This was a guy that really performed extremely well in college. Like, it wasn't like he was a guy that didn't come out and ball out in college. No, he balled out in college, and he balled out in the G League for that matter. But whether it was the team that couldn't find a role for him on the main roster, their lack of development for him or whatever else it is, now Adama Sonogo's gone. Maybe he comes back after this injury. It seems like he was only waived because of the long-term injury that he has here. But hey, it really sucks when it comes down to it, man. Georgie says, good. Why is that good, Georgie? Why is that good? We waive bigs but keep signing guards. That's the craziest thing about all of this, right? He's a good center. He's a very solid center. Very solid center. Why? So the reason why, and my fault if I didn't give this clear. So they got word today that he will be sidelined for 4 weeks with a knee injury. Keep in mind, this is the second time he's going to have an extended absence due to a knee injury just this season. So that's the biggest reason why, right? Damn, he could have been a solid role player, in my opinion. Listen, I agree that. I think when you look at Adama, to me, Adama Sonogo is the type of big that at the bare minimum was going to be able to be a solid rebound guy and a block shot guy for you. He may never hit that shot, may have never speeded up enough to be efficient at the NBA level or anything like that, but he's a guy that can get out there and be a big body that can rebound for you, right? And we've seen how that continues to help some teams in the NBA, right? Bulls be doing some dumb shit. Listen, here's the thing that I'm going to tell you guys. Do not be shocked at all if Adama Sonogo somehow ends up on the Lakers next season. I don't know if it's going to be G League. I don't know if they give him an opportunity to earn. If the Bulls do not re-sign and find a way to bring back Adama Sonogo, do not be surprised for a team like the Lakers that just needs defensive bigs if they give Adama Sonogo a shot in training camp next year. Watch that. Watch what I'm telling you on that. Do not be surprised if Adama Sonogo gets an opportunity with the Lakers next year. Damn, even worse when a job fire you while you out sick. That is hilarious. That's funny. So that makes 9 guards on the team. No, well, keep in mind, it's not on the team. This is two-way contract. Two-way contract. So that wasn't counted as part of the team. That's not part of the 15-man roster, right? It's a two-way contract. Damn, I really hate losing Sanogo. Yeah, man, I really hate losing Sanogo as well, man. It really sucks, man. The Bulls and these guards. Hey, we are the Chicago Bulls guards, man. It is what it is. What the fuck? You're talking about developing guys, and this guy is one of our bright spots. They were developing in the G League, and we letting them go. Well, it's only because of injury. So he could very well come back. I want to be clear here. There is a chance that Adama Sonogo is brought back at the start of next season, right? There's a chance of that. The same thing happened with Justin Lewis. Now, he ended up getting waived long-term, but remember, we signed him to a two-way contract. He suffered a knee injury. We waived him. We brought him back for a year. He didn't show anything. We ended up waiving him again. So there is that chance they end up bringing him back, right? So he'll be back in training camp next season, right? There's a really big chance of that. There's a chance of that for sure, right? He's a third center. Who cares? Because he's developing. And if you didn't care, you know what? You guys are the stupidest people in the world. Somebody who comes to a live stream, takes time out to say, who cares? Clearly you did. If not, you wouldn't have clicked on it. It's stupid. It's just, you're stupid is what you are. We had a game last year where he reserve played and the starters rested. Do you think we're going to do a game like that this season? Yeah, towards the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something like that. So, we'll see where that goes. A big in the end of the bench that can get 10 plus rebounds any night is something every team needs. I don't see Bulls being a contender team for the next. Okay, what is that? Yeah, you're right. We're not. Hopefully it's not that long, but I mean, that's not bad to say that, right? I think he will be. Yeah, I think he's going to be back too. Like, I even with the way that the Bulls, like they didn't waive him the first time. Keep in mind, this is his second time having a major knee injury. If they didn't waive him the first time after having a major knee injury and missing some extended time, that to me says that there's a chance that they didn't really want to cut him. But they may felt like they had to. So Jalen Smith and Sanogo would have been crazy in the future. I can't say that would have been crazy. Again, I don't like. Yes, Adama Sonogo had a ton of potential, right? It's ton of potential, but at the end of the day, it's still a two-way contract, right? It's still a two-way contract. Can Sanogo be the next Zion? Next Zion? What? Jeremy? What are you smoking? What are you smoking? Dumbass front office. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I get that you have to report, but having him on or off, who said it was a game changer? Please show where did we said it was a game changer at? Please show me that. I'll wait. Where did we say it's a game changer? We'll wait for that. He'll probably be part of your summer league team this offseason. Yeah, there's definitely, like I said, unless another team gives him an opportunity, which is something that could happen. He plays below the rim. Okay, he's gone. This team needs bigs that play above the rim. Not necessarily. They need big bodies. Nobody can say what this team needs right now because we suck. We need talent. We need to take an evaluation of young talent to see what they can turn into. We're not at a place where we can be like, oh, well, you're not this specific type of player. That's not where we are. That's where we were maybe 2 years ago. But right now, no. We need to sign the free agent Mo Bamba. He's tall and he can shoot some. bro. You Mo Bamba people get on my nerves, bro. Hayes, I saw your latest episode for Locked on Bulls. You guys talked about the draft. What do you think of JT Toppin? I almost brought up JT Toppin, but he will be somebody I cover in depth once I start my draft analysis. It sucks that Adama Sonogo got cut because he couldn't stay healthy this season. Hopefully he'll be back next year. And this was the first season he hasn't been able to stay healthy, right? So it really sucks. Kevin Knox signing incoming. That's not going to happen either. Bro, I saw this pop up on the feed. You ever think about just stop? I get grinding, but the ownership loves you for doing them. How is this free PR? No, we're not. I'm not going to stop talking. Do you realize the name of the channel is Chicago Bulls Central? That's not PR. You need to understand the difference between PR. PR would be to say that the things they do is good. Do I not call out the team all the time? How about you? If you are worried about it stopping, you think it's PR, why'd you click on the video? Why did you, JB, and the Rikishi dude click on the video if y'all think stupid stuff like that? I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering. We need Bobo. Deanna, you on this Bobo nonsense. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. That's crazy. Derek Queen and Sanogo running the summer league. Listen. If we get Derek Queen, I don't even want to see him play in summer league. I want like Derek Queen. I like Derek Queen's game more and more and more every time I see him. So no coincidence that Jerry owns two worst teams in sports for the last 10 years. No, there's worse teams in sports. They're picking up another guy. Yeah, I talked about it already. He's Jahmir Young. He's averaging 22 and something points per game in the G League. He's actually a really talented scorer. But we already talked about that, bro. I know you may just be coming on the stream, so not a shot at you or anything, but we did discuss that they are bringing in another guard here. He's 24 years old, so he's been playing really well in the G League. So for whatever that's worth, right? Well, Bowl and modest equals Block City. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Lee, why do you let people get under your skin on here? No, you don't. See, that's the thing. You must be new here. They don't get under my skin. I just don't like people. I don't like humans. Talking shit to people brings me great joy. That's not under my skin. That's actually giving me great joy. That brings me great joy to do that. Hayes, you make me feel better about being so mad at this team and sometimes the fans. Listen, that just comes with the territory, man. That just comes with the territory, bro. Just popped in while they cut him. I legit forgot he was even on the team, to be honest. Knee injury. He has a pretty severe knee injury that's going to leave him out about 4 weeks. So that's like basically the remainder of the season. So especially the G League season, that's basically the remainder of the season. So he went ahead and waived him, take a shot at another guy. Chris Paul and Javon Carter starting point guard and shooting guard coming up. That's god awful. No. Please, God, no. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. At this point, signed Jahlil Okafor, which I think the Pacers just signed Jahlil Okafor, surprisingly enough. So, who's old, washed up, and always wanted to play in Chicago? That's what the Bulls will do. Well, I mean, we're only going to slated to have 2 roster spots next year, so it's not like we got a lot unless we do some trades, but I definitely get what you're coming from with that one. Hayes, you got that Brock Lesnar personality. He don't like people. I really don't, but hey. But Hayes, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of biased Bulls fan where I think games we're supposed to win, the refs in some games cheat us. Listen, as long as I always say this, brother, everybody has bias. The problem is when people don't want to admit their bias, right? That's the problem when people don't want to admit their bias, right? So, it is what it is. If the Bulls end up getting lucky in the lottery, end up with the second pick, who would you go after? Bailey, Harper, Edgecombe, Johnson, or someone else? I'll probably say, man, I go back and forth between Ace Bailey and Harper all the time. I'm going to say right now, today, February 19th, I'll say Dylan Harper, but that could change tomorrow. That could definitely change tomorrow. So. But all right, y'all, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up, man. Brandon says, I'm late. How can we waive him but keep P. Will? Because P. Will has a guaranteed contract, and he can't just be waived. That's not the way that it works. Listen, if the NBA ever goes to like an NFL type thing where you could just cut players regardless of how many years left on their deal, maybe we could see a world in which that happens, but that's not the way the NBA works, brother. It's not the way that it should work. The players still got to play, even though the refs be on some BS sometimes, still got to hoop. Yeah. And that's why there are some games where I absolutely call out officiating, right? But I never blame it completely. Even in some games where they may be officiating down the stretch, I always like to point out, like, where did we go wrong as a team as well, right? So, it is what it is, man. But all right, y'all, man. I love you guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red if you can, y'all. By the way, y'all see what's happening here? We call this the snow leopard. That's what this is. This is the snow fit, right? I'm gonna wear this every time it snows. I'm gonna wear this outfit. It's completely white. No, love you guys. Go Bulls, man. Peace, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow, game time.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.